Hello Seekers, welcome to another episode on Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. On 1st of July and until 18th of August, Mars will be in the Leo zodiac sign. Mars will cross the Gandanta of Ashlesha and Magha Nakshatra. The boundary of Cancer and Leo zodiac will enter into the Magha Nakshatra on 1st of July, ending the debilitation of Mars and putting Mars into a power-packed position, a position where Mars can experience the power of Surya, because Leo is the zodiac sign of Sun. The day when Mars enter the Leo zodiac sign, Sun and Mercury will be in Gemini exactly, almost very close, and this is a position where Mars gains the strength. Mars will find a powerful Sun in the 11th house, but a weak Mercury. So initially, this Mars will be aggressive. Mars will be like fire. Mars will be full of enthusiasm, and Mars might be full of revenge. Mars will be planning of doing many things once it gains the throne, once it gains the power. But on the other hand, Mars is not Sun. Mars is not the king. It is the Sun who is the king. And the Sun will soon go into the 12th house from Mars on 17th of July, and you will also experience Venus entering the zodiac sign of Leo on 7th of July. So Mars is not alone, so Mars cannot simply execute all its fire, all its power, but he has to follow the path of Surya, Sun. The only thing is that from 17th July, when Sun will enter Cancer zodiac sign, Mars will experience its own house lord Surya in the 12th bhava, a weak Sun, and that can make Mars a great leader, Mars replacing the king. But this is also like military rule somewhere, will not be good if the world is like, a democratic nation being converted into a military rule, something bad will happen geopolitically. But this also increase the Martian energies in human body. This increase the Pitta Tattva. So people who are suffering from Pitta, aggravated Pitta dosh, that means aggravated fire inflammation, should be careful during this time, should drink plenty of water and keep the heat down by constantly cooling yourself. The fire and the air element zodiac sign, fire as in Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, will be affected positively and aggressively by this Mars, because Mars will be in your trine, in the Dharma trine. So Mars will help you execute your dharma. Whereas on the other hand, the air zodiac sign will experience Mars in the 3, 7 or 11. And this Mars will be, countered by the presence of Saturn in the air zodiac, because Saturn is in Aquarius. So if you are a Gemini, if you are a Aquarius, or if you are a Libra, you will experience Mars in either the 3rd house, which is for Gemini, or the 7th house, which is for Aquarius, or 11th house, which is for Libra. Therefore, Mars will increase the desire and will give you what you expect from life, but then you will have to be cautious what you ask for. Now, people might say that Mars transit in Leo can be very aggressive and negative, but I don't think so. The reason is that Mars is fire. Fire in Leo will work in sync with the king's energy, with the solar energy, and it is supposed to work like that. Now, what we do with the fire is important. If you have a gas stove at home, whether you light the stove to cook food, or you are lighting the stove to burn the house, totally depends on what you want to do with it. Similarly, when Mars enters Leo, it will increase your confidence. It will give you courage. It will give you aggression. It will give you all sorts of resources to win the competition, to be one step ahead, to be a great leader, and you can be an executioner. No longer the dreams and desires will be in the mind, but it will come on the practical plane. But then what you do with it? Whether you become negatively aggressive, whether you try to intimidate someone, or whether you try to be humble and grounded, totally depends on your own horoscope. And remember one thing, there is a retrograde Saturn in the sign of Aquarius right in front of Mangal. So the moment Mars enters Leo, it will see Saturn's aspect approaching towards itself, because Saturn is retrograde. Therefore, this Mars will immediately counter an adverse circumstance, an adverse situation. That means there will be a lot of enthusiasm and you are planning to do something, but somebody comes and tells you the negative point. Somebody informs you about the loopholes, about the pits where you can fall, about the problems that you might encounter. Now it is up to you that what you will do with this information, because Saturn will guide you. Not only that, if you see, Jupiter and Mars will be in trine. It's a great time for engineering, it's a great time for learning new skills, it's a great time to establish new connection, it's a brilliant time to create something. But then, while you are creating, while this masculine expression goes up, your feminine expression will go down, and that might make you rude, that might make you very over the top aggressive and intimidating. Now, if someone enjoys this, Saturn will take care and will deal with iron fist. And if someone uses this to counter the negative energy, then it's all good. What are you using your energy for is important. So channelize your energy, do a lot of grounding meditation, do a lot of physical grounding, plant trees, walk barefoot on the grass, focus your energy towards constructive side of life. Jupiter is in Bharani, so focus on mantra japa. And when Mars is in Magha Nakshatra, I will make a detailed video on that. Ketu will be in Chitra Nakshatra. Ketu is in fact in Chitra Nakshatra. So Mars and Ketu will be exchanging the Nakshatra. So the initial first 15-20 days of this Mars transit will be full of aggression and full of disappointments also, because one step ahead and somebody will tell you you are going on a wrong path. And then you might take alternative step and you might get an information that it is not the right path. I'm not saying that it will happen to everyone, but this will be more or less the theme. An intelligent person will take that information and will correct. There will be a constant course correction. But if someone who is very aggressive, who is just hot-headed and who just want to execute, will be frustrated by these information and will still try to push the way ahead. And that is where the Saturn's resistance will exponentially increase. And then you might say that the Mars transit is negative, or Punneit is always saying negative. No, I am just saying the energy in a black and white format. That is why it is extremely important for you to be more humble, to also safeguard yourself. Like when you want to speak something, when you want to argue, when you want to counter, when you want to file a case, when you want to leave a job, when you want to fight with your spouse, when you want to share your thoughts, you must know the consequence, also when to stop. You should also know your limit. Because only when you will know your limit, you will be able to expand it. Because if in your mind you are limitless, then Saturn will start squeezing. Because remember, the moment Mars goes into the sign of Leo, Virgo comes under Pap Kartari, and Pisces is already under Pap Kartari. And Virgo and Pisces is the 6-12 axis of the Kal Purush. Therefore, you will be trapped into your own prarabdha and might be isolated. It can have its expression in multiple ways depending upon your chart. Wherever your Virgo and Pisces zodiac sign is, try to be watchful of those angles of life, because that is where you won't be having much room to expand, much room to work. So a bit of surrender is important, a bit of self-sacrifice is important. And Mars in Leo can have the potential to pull you out from any circumstance. If the king is weak, it is the military who will take over and save the country. But if the intentions are right. If the Mars wants to become Sun, it won't happen. Saturn, which is circumstance, will pull you down. So don't make this amazingly beautiful transit a bad one for you by, focusing on the negative side of the work. Work-life balance will also be hit because of this. But yes, sometimes you may have to push for work. But remember one thing. Temporary push is okay. But if you are just going and, executing that march, or you are burning the Martian energy way too much, it will cost the family life. It will hurt your family, it will hurt your children, it will hurt everyone around you. You must also understand that this is kind of a war on Scorpio. I will make a very detailed video for that. Because Saturn is aspecting Scorpio and now Mars is also aspecting Scorpio, which means a lot of secrets will reveal itself, whereas Mars will fight to put a lid on it. So you will see that there will be many cases where you want to express but you can't, and even if you are expressing or you are able to express, there is a lot of resistance. You will have to make your way through. So here, be like a river. Be like a river who will not make a head-on collision, but will go around. The more humble you are, the more grounded you are, the more peaceful you are, the more inclusive you are, the better will be the result of this transit. Because if you see from Aries, it is first lord in the 5th house. I'm not talking about Aries ascendant, but from Kalpurush. First lord in 5th house, it is full of learning, full of enthusiasm, full of expression, youthfulness. It's a combination of energy plus youthfulness. It needs guidance, care and direction. That is where Saturn will come into play. That is where the blessings of Bhagwan Hanuman will come into play. And if you do Hanuman Chalisa or Hanuman Japa during this time, it's a beautiful time. It's a blessed time. Saturn is in its own zodiac sign. Mars is in the zodiac sign of Surya. Surya, who is the father of Shanidev and the guru of Bhagwan Hanuman. What else do you expect? The blessings of Hanumanji will be all upon us, will be on us if you pray. But you have to live the character of Bhagwan Hanuman. Humble, following the divine, most capable, आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाँकते कापे, the one who can just make the तीनों लोक, the three loks, the Swarg, the Patal and the earth, the Prithvi, all can be conquered by Bhagwan Hanuman. But he is not Lankesh. He just wants to serve the God. So, with great power comes great responsibility. So, Mars and Leo will give you power, but will also remind you of your responsibilities. Mars will aspect Scorpio, Mars will aspect Aquarius and Mars will aspect Pisces. So definitely if you observe Pisces, which is in the Papkartari between Shani and Rahu, Mars will have an 8th aspect on that. Therefore, Mars will try to free yourself. It will give you energy to come out of problem. It will give you potential to do something in your career. And anyone who is into energy sector, metals, electronics and instruments, who is into electrical work like wiring, if anyone who is into optical fiber, cable management, desktop PC or any other kind of IT technology, great boost, great possibilities will open up during this time. But panic is not the way. Mars is plain fire. Saturn retrograde is like fire extinguisher. Enthusiasm will go up, something will come and pull your enthusiasm down. And this will keep on happening. You know why? Because this is how you can balance both the positive and negative so that the yin and yang is balanced and you get the maximum productivity. A lot of people who will try to burn out by working too hard will also see the negative side. But if you balance it, you will see high productivity. It's like a bell curve. After a peak, there will be a downfall. So once you reach the peak, you should know that you are now at the peak of your own hard work, of your own physical and mental capacity. Don't go beyond that. People who are into influencers business, who are into business where your power, your energy is used, who are athletes, who are into armed forces, defense forces, will see great power coming your way. But then you will have to also know what you're doing, why you're doing, because Mars expression can become violent, especially with Ketu being in the 3rd house from this Mars. It is not a joke. Ketu is in the 3rd house. That means Mars capacity to work is the 3rd house of Mangal, and there is Ketu in the nakshatra of Mangal completely coming towards Mars. So Mars and Ketu are approaching each other. Right? So you can see that the weapon is coming into the hand of Mars. So you have to understand that it should be an internal battle, killing your negative energy rather than you expressing it outside, showing power and dominance. Because if you try to intimidate with power and dominance, aggression, anger, bad words, Saturn will meet you with a firm handshake, and it will simply block all the ways out, and you will be out of resources. No matter how hard Mars tries to free itself, when you press accelerator and brake together, the car won't move. Brake supersedes accelerator. So you have to understand that praying to Bhagwan Hanuman and being humble will give you a lot during this time. Just a quick message I wanted to share. For Mars transit in the sign of Leo, ascendant-wise analysis is in editing, will come soon. Stay tuned, subscribe, stay connected, and for consultations, please drop me an email. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, namaste.